YouTube. Yo, internet. I don't know if you can hear me. One of the things I want to mention when I travel and do witchcraft, sorry, there's a storm outside and I'm going to be collecting water. Chewy, it's okay. It's okay. We had lightning strikes so freaking close to us. The ground shook. Yep, my dogs are freaking out. So when it comes to my altar and camping and traveling, I actually do not open my altars and I do not close them either because it's not my place. So when I call the quarters, Chewbacca! When I call the quarters and when I call the spirit, I don't say enter my place, enter my space as per usual. I say join me and stuff like that. It's glorious outside. I hope you can hear me and that weather. Glorious. I'm glad that I haven't had any leaks yet so far, but I thought I felt some rain come in. Alright, I won't let my dogs drive you guys nuts, but that is something I forgot to mention about traveling altars. Don't open the space and don't close the space. Just borrow the space, if that makes sense. You could say, join me, be present, and ask them to leave when you're done. Alright, anyways, bye y'all. Hello, internet. Zihauna here. I just wanted to come back after yesterday when it was stormy as heck out and there was thunder and the ground shook so much. I should have collected a jar of it, but I don't have any jars right now or really anything to actually collect the storm water in. And I do have a bunch of moon storm water from Washington, and I forgot to write down what month I collected it in. I would have to ask my bestie if he remembers. So that's another thing. When you're collecting the water, it is good to label it if you want to remember how long ago you collected it, and maybe even where you collected it if you're a traveler like me. Anyways, so that's something I could have thought about, especially since today is a full moon. Another thing, today I'm going to actually pull out my tarot cards. A friend of mine asked me to do a tarot reading for her, and I said I will on the full moon. And the full moon was at 12:18 this morning, and it is before lunch. So yeah, a lot of people don't like to shuffle like that when it comes to tarot. Apparently that's like a no-no. That's one of the ways I do it though, and it just helps with the initial shuffle. I'll do it a couple times and then I'll do this type of shuffling. Now normally I also have an altar cloth, and I normally also will circle with stones, but since I have my stones over here and no altar cloth, then that's okay. Almost forgot an important step. Before you actually read tarot, it's a good idea to do your protection ritual. Not that tarot cards will possess you or any weird stuff like that, because I've never had that issue. It's also a good idea to maybe cleanse your tarot cards. This is dragon's blood incense, by the way, so it does work the same as sage or Palo Santos or other types of smudging stuff. And I've been collecting feathers out here too, guys. My hawk feather I decided to put into my traveling altar, which I'm using also to do my incense. And that gets really smoky towards me. I should move that, to be honest. I'll move it over here. Uh-oh. it happens. It just so happens that things like that fall quite regularly around me. So then I'm also going to light my red candle, because red for me is this passion, protection, strength, truth. It's my fire, and it's what gives me my pizzazz. No, I don't think that's the right word. I don't know what the right word would be. Oh, so sorry. No, I am trying to find a good angle. It's really, whoops, hard to do. So sorry. What if I move it? Oh, that might be better. There, then you won't see my altar so much, but you'll get to see the cards. So, my friend's question is she where she needs to be? I'm going to think of her name. And I'm going to shuffle until I feel like I don't need to shuffle anymore. Okay. Ace of Swords. Wow. Well, I'm assuming that is, whoa, whoops. That fell again. That is the answer. The Ace of Swords. Let's see. Can I remember what the Ace of Swords means? Let me try. Swords is usually a fighter type situation where you're having to stand for yourself. You're having to fend for yourself. Means things like that. Usually swords is also, it could be pointing the way, if that makes sense, because swords, like wands, point. And so, sorry, I'm grabbing a book just to think about this. I think it means that she's in the right direction. I'm using a book for my Luno Tarot deck because I don't have the book for my Van Gogh deck. It didn't come with a book, to be honest, and I'm not the absolute best at memorizing every card. So I am going to just look in this book and see. Swan, swords. Swords. Ace of Swords. Yeah, I'm not used to these. You can't tell, can you? You have reached a moment of clarity that will enable you to move forward. This is your aha moment, like a light bulb switching on above your head. If you do not have all the facts, you cannot make the best decisions. Now you do, and that's the important victory, so you can strategize. If your work involves communicating or writing, or any job that projects that requires intellect and brain power, drawing the Ace of Swords is very fortunate, especially if you are starting afresh in love and friendship. You can make a move with confidence and start something special. If that isn't working, now is the time to draw the line, say goodbye, and move on. Financially, this card is positive, but do make decisions with your head and not your heart. It's a breakthrough, vision, and focus for key words, and its meaning is realization. So, friend, I do believe you're on the right track. And if you feel like you're questioning things and things aren't being clear and you don't know what to do, maybe it's time to draw that line and move on. Start fresh. Go somewhere else. That's kind of what I'm doing, and I know that you have your family and everything, so it's really hard to start fresh in your situation. I understand that. But if that's what your heart is telling you, sister, that's what you need to do. And so anyways, that is the tarot reading I'm doing for a friend. I decided on the full moon because she asked me a few days before the full moon. I'm not usually that particular on a full moon, but full moons are usually very good for clarity and for divination and drawing power and accuracy. And apparently yesterday there was also a solar eclipse. So I believe that the cards are telling the truth, and I believe that with the stars, the sun, and the moon aligning the way they have, that you are definitely on the right track, and keep going. Whether it be in a direction that you were not expecting, if you have an opportunity elsewhere and you need to just draw back and say, hey, I no longer want to be a part of this, or if you just want to stay where you are because you are actually comfortable and in a good spot and only things could get only better. Anyways, that's what I'm adding on to this. And normally, like I said, my altar setup is different and my tarot reading cards are different, and I've got 3 decks with me, which I absolutely love them all, to be honest. And I decided to do my newest baby deck for this reading. It was the first reading for my Van Gogh deck. Anyways, good luck, and also ta-ta for now.